say, you know, I saw that first draft with the 580 carry lineup. I got excited. I was like, oh, we're going to run out of 80 carries. With all of the Fearless going on today, we still have 17 marksmans available in the pool. There's a lot of 80 carries in League of Legends.
Yeah. It was kind of, as you were saying, I was like, oh yeah, Jhin is still there, Kallista's still there, Asena's, oh yeah, there's still a good few that are available, but either way, I just want to see what the game plan is, because already, like with Malzahar found away, I feel like we're kind of setting the stage here for T1 where maybe there's a little bit of fun coming through.
Yeah, I feel like the Malzahar ban there is actually so that they could potentially pick Zaahen. You're not allowed both of those champions in the game. Zaahen's taken away, though, by G2, as well as the Neeko, the Sion, taken off the board as well, which I'm kind of happy about, because we want that open for Battle Slayer.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, though, I think for G2, it feels like they are taking this very seriously. So I'm curious then, how aggressive do we want to start seeing T1 go for in this draft? Because, you know, like your Orianna and your Azir, which were the big champions that we saw in the mid lane for a lot of Worlds, have already been taken away. Aurora gone as well. Like, do you want to start trying to focus on that mid lane pool? Or are G2 just not going to respect Keria's Bard, which has been such an insane pick for him, and maybe he gets his hands on it in this game? Well, the Pyke is.
Well, it's Pyke taken away. I was kind of hoping for a little bit of Keria Pyke, but we do have 3 games ahead of us. There's still time, but there it is. You mentioned it already. Hovered and locked straight on in. Keria, the best bard in the world, locks it in for our audience here today.
I mean, there's a reason that man got introduced with Magical Journey, because he's about to take us on one. This is such a strong pick, but on the opposite side, SkewMond, he brought it to the world stage. He showed T1 what they could do with it, and they stole us, even if Oner didn't know how to play it.
I was going to say, Oner actually knows how this one works now. He's read the tooltips, actually, on stage recently. It's going to be a Karma, though, locked in alongside that Caitlyn for Labrov and Oner. I mean, he's read the tooltips once already. I think that's enough to lock it in on the stage.
Against SkewMond would be absolutely hilarious, because it has been such a pocket pick for him for such a long period of time, but either way, we are getting a semi-serious draft here. Like, you're getting Kate Karma for the bottom lane, a huge amount of punch. Oner toying with the crowd, and he locks it in.
You see the grin on his face when he switches over, and everyone erupts with cheers. Let's see what the third pick will be here. Well, is signature's the right word? I feel like Mundo's almost a signature somehow, just because of shenanigans.
Yeah. I mean, look, you play it at Worlds once, a video gets made about you, you get a good all time. I'm curious what FAKER wants to go with here, though, because he started to play a lot of Mel towards the back half of Worlds, but it looks like we're getting a little bit of standard for Peyz, that hyper carry bottom lane.
Zeri locked in, very much comfort for Peyz there. And, you know, nice to see T1 setting up for Peyz to have a pick that we know that he can make things happen on. Now that is a hover I'm very interested in.
Yeah.
Caps has played the Vayne in the mid lane before,
It
very
was into
famously.
Galio. That was the thing, you know? I don't know, blind Vayne in mid lane is the way to go, and yeah, they are going to go with the Vayne instead. Again, like, it's very much feeling like Worlds drafts, right? You get Keria's Bard, very good on the roam, opportunity to start moving around the map and trying to cover for a lot of his weaknesses in Mundo's early game, where he isn't very strong when it comes towards ganking, wants to farm up, hit that level 16, get his items. So for G2, at least opting in towards the buy, it feels like they want to be much more aggressive in those early stages. And there's that Mel we were talking about, something that FAKER really started to bring to the forefront towards those later series of Worlds.
Yeah, Mel, insanely strong champion. And in the right hands, can absolutely change a game. FAKER's hands, I would argue, are the right hands. So
pretty good, yeah. Making
sure he's not got that one. Renekton to take it away from BrokenBlade as well. We'll see if G2 continue to focus on towards the GOAT in the mid lane there. We are starting to see the mid lane pool getting thinned out a little bit more as well. Like you mentioned before, the Azir, the Orianna, gone from our all-day fearless, our ultimate fearless here today.
Yeah, I'm curious if FAKER ends up just going back towards something like the Galio. We kind of got to see, whenever you have a lacking CC jungler, you tend to want something that's a bit more CC orientated in the mid lane, and Galio's kind of the one that stands out to me already with the buy there as well, unless Caps just takes it away.
So what you're saying is, we are going to get Caps on Vayne after all.
Maybe, actually, yeah.
Oh, Rumble slammed for BrokenBlade. So a carry in that top side. It's going to be work cut out for Oner. We'll see what he's going to answer with. And immediately he wants carry versus carry. Doran
Come on, you got the Camille in game 5 of Worlds. Does he bring it back? The Gwen, also a decent answer into the Rumble, but AP damage does work if Doran wants to go for the Singed.
He's just teasing us now. The Yorick? Okay, the Camille comes through. Carry versus carry in the top side.
Game 5 of Worlds. It was Doran who locked in this Camille alongside FAKER's Galio to get them across the finish line. Is it the same combo that they want to go back towards?
Oh, a Katarina for FAKER. I would love to see it, but... Oh, it's the Anivia!
Okay!
He's flapping around once again.
I'm honestly kind of surprised. I thought they'd go towards something that would like follow up on the engage tools that you have coming through from the Camille. But Doran definitely going to be left on his lonesome when it comes towards some of this backline threat. And it'll be more about absorbing the pressure, it feels like, with this Anivia, with this Mundo, and trying to turn the potential dive that G2 are looking for back around.
Yeah, I don't think Caps is going to go for the Vayne mid after all. Instead, it's an Akali, though. Definitely a pick that can get close to that Anivia and really, you know, maybe get some scrambled eggs on the table.
Can make it a bit tough, though, because the wall, if Akali tries to escape using the shadows, makes it a little bit more difficult with the smoke screens actually trying to escape because it just denies you walking away.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see exactly how that one pans out. But either way, T1 and G2, some comfort, some flashy plays available, and I'm very excited to get into this one.
I was going to say, that's the thing that stands out about this draft, is there is playmaking across the board for both teams. This is a draft where you can make things happen. There is so much mechanical skill on that stage right now, and I cannot wait to see how it's going to pan out.
Yeah, I'm curious how the bot lane ends up playing as well, because Keria's Bard is there, but trying to get him out of a Caitlyn Karma lane is not going to be the best of times. So I'm curious how he's going to try and skedaddle away to have that impact that Kerry's known for.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't really matter how good at Bard you are. If you're against Caitlyn Karma, you're still going to have a bad time in that laning phase. We'll have to see how the 2v2 is going to pan out. And if we get some junglers interacting, some forced plays down in the bottom side. I mean, Mundo, but also importantly, Vi down there. You can certainly set up for a dive with the push from a Caitlyn and a Karma. We'll see how the early game is going to pan out. It's T1 versus G2. We didn't get them at Worlds this year, so we get them here in Munich instead. 2023. We saw G2 winning against T1 at Red Bull League of its own. 2024, we saw T1 get revenge. 2025, it's time for our decider.
Oh, we're already into it. Hansama.
Oh, it's absolute chaos on the rift, and Hansama's already down! First blood for Peyz, and in comes Doran to turn it into more. Labrov, 100 HP, gets under the tower, but flashed on! And Peyz with a double kill for 2 minutes in his first game with T1.
It's a disaster for Europe! What are we doing? We're only a couple seconds into the game and we're already 2-0 down. And it's Peyz, the new member of T1, who says, "Hello Europe, glad I'm here."
Of all of the champions to have a level 1 double kill on as well, Zeri. Keria baiting them in a little bit here as the rest of the gang stacking up in the brush, I believe. And Hansama, oh, that's a mistake he's going to regret.
The flash double found as well from Keria. Absolutely brilliant there. And Doran's just in a great position, coming over with the hook shot to set up for Peyz with one last auto to pick that one up.
Beautifully done by T1, catching out G2. But regardless of the double kill, Peyz won't actually be able to leverage very much in the early game. Has the Doran's blade, but also has his boots, so not actually getting much damage. And ultimately, it's still Caitlyn Karma. It's still one of the most oppressive lanes you can play into.
Yeah, at least it's, you know, flashes and healed burnt on both supports, and it is the flash gone on Peyz. So for G2, still will be able to push in and try and go aggressive. I think you may need to look for some sort of dive, honestly, to try and get this lane back in your favor. And is definitely possible with the amount of poke and control you can have in this bottom side. Like, look at Peyz's health bar right now. Yeah. So I think that's where we'll see if SkewMond wants to try and go for something. But you can see where Oner is on the map. He is in a position to make his way down to this bottom side and cover for any sort of play.
his way down, as you say. Oner pretty confident on what Mundo's ability to do at this point. Faker, though, taking a trade with Caps. Remember, Faker's still got the egg. He's low on HP, but Caps only on 200 himself. If a jungler moves towards that mid lane, the passive could come into play, but Peyz chunked out again by Hansama and Labrov.
Barrier used as well, which means Peyz is definitely not going to be particularly happy. Going to try and step up here, but G2 with the full clear. Oner trying to cover on this bottom side for his AD carry.
I'd be surprised if Oner moves into this bottom lane, but he's got the wraparound here. Actually, maybe an opportunity. Keria goes forward. Labrov dodges away from the sun and actually goes forward. He sets up for a kill. Hansama with the first one of the fight, and it's answered by Peyz.
Peyz still able to get that answer back, and honestly for Oner, using the fact that you have that quicker clear, kind of helping out here, because Peyz desperately needs this reset and the way to push in. But now Vi on the bottom side, SkewMond
wrap. Peyz is down! Hansama finds the kill all by himself. Oner answers, but here comes Vi. Oner knocked into the wall, taken low, does not have his flash available, and he goes down. SkewMond with the answer.
SkewMond able to make it happen, getting that turnaround play and some much needed kills. Plus the nice guy that it is, freezing that wave for Hansama and Labrov on the bottom side. G2 answering back.
Well, 7 kills in 4 minutes so far. This is definitely the kind of game we were hoping for between G2 and T1. Labrov moves to the mid lane. Let's try and make sure. Oh, hang on. BrokenBlade, low HP. Doran walking underneath the tower. He's being burnt, actually. BB's going to turn it around. Doran gets the magic shield, but he's cut down. BrokenBlade with a solo kill.
This is what his Rumble can do. BrokenBlade with the solo kill on the top side. And may have been a little bit of a whoopsie from Doran, honestly, going underneath the turret. But still, Labrov fishing with Karma, seeing what he can pick up.
Dodging away from a bit of the damage. Keria actually out of mana here. They do have to be a little cautious as Hansama dives forward once again. Peyz forced underneath the tower, dodges the Q though. As the route onto Keria won't lead to too much. And honestly, T1 are doing a pretty good job of trading fairly evenly. Yeah,
it's just the CS that is really going to hurt. Like, there is a wave pushing into them so they can, you know, maybe get 3 or 4 more to answer back, but still a better wave behind when it comes to the CS. But I'm looking at Oner once more, moving down into this bottom side. He's been beating SkewMond to the punch and wants to see if he can do it again.
Oner does not want to let them get away with this on the magical journey as Labrov takes a tower shot as well. Hansama falls. Oh, he finds the Piltover Peacemaker! A double for Hans! Oner can't find his mark, knocked up, and he'll be taken down as a bonus on top. G2 taking it to T1.
G2 own the bottom lane here at Red Bull League of its own. It started off well for T1, but reminded them where we are.
We are here in the heart of Europe in Munich, and G2 know it. Hansama with the double. Look at the movement from this guy.
This was so well played by G2. We kind of talked about how you were already having the Mundo come down, but Hansama able to set up the plays, sidesteps it, gets the beautiful Piltover Peacemaker as he nets back. And G2 then with the cover again from SkewMond, making it happen.
Really nice using the EQ combo to make it that much harder to dodge the Piltover Peacemaker as well. Clean from Hansama, and Peyz, despite those early kills, he's actually slightly behind in gold versus Hansama. It's a 450 gold lead on the Caitlyn right now. Caitlyn, not a champion you want to be behind, but here we go. Oner's still the 3rd bot laner for T1 at this point as Hansama getting damage down. SkewMond dives into the action. Oner chasing onto the G2 bottom lane, and Peyz has room to get these autos in, but Oner low on HP, and he's taken down again. Hansama still going! How are they getting away with this? And now Caps flies into the action and forces a flash out of FAKER. The slow comes on down. FAKER trying to escape with this one. Egg still available, but no teammates to follow up. In comes by SkewMond, taking him into the egg form, and it's going to be delicious yolk for G2.
SkewMond hits 6 off the experience from the kills, which sets up the follow-up play onto FAKER. G2, 11 kills and a 3k gold lead 7 minutes into this game.
We have more than 2 kills per minute so far, but look at the movement from Hansama once again. As T1 desperately trying to chase them down, but it's so difficult.
Yeah, these Piltover Peacemakers are doing work, plus the traps making it incredibly difficult. SkewMond comes back to kill Oner to help buy that space. Labrov flashing away despite the good stun coming through from Keria. And barely Hansama is able to set up the net over the wall, get the kill. But watch, SkewMond hits 6 there off that kill, which then means that they can chase down after this. And that's why the slow for FAKER was nearly enough to keep SkewMond away, but just about gets in range for the cease and desist.
Beautifully done. And I don't know if you saw the pixel perfect dodge on the Ultra Shock Laser from Hansama. Doran down in this bottom side, catching a wave, but very low on HP. See, Hansama's already used his ultimate. I'm guessing that's how Doran got so low, but in they go. There's only so much you can do against an ultimatum. Cut into Hansama down, and Doran gets the gold. Oner now caught up in the river as Peyz trying to support his jungler. G2 have started these grubs off, but I think they might have to retreat on this one. Still positioning aggressively, and Doran dives in onto Labrov as well. Doran is looking for a second in the bottom side, as in goes Caps in the mid lane. FAKER down, Oner down, G2 with the grubs.
It's a 2 for 2 across the map, but it's G2 who'll be able to get the grubs. Labrov sticking around that little bit too long in the bottom side, and FAKER not respecting that he had no business being around that river.
I have a feeling here that, you know, we've got Oner taking the Mundo, we've got FAKER taking the Anivia. They're referencing worlds. G2 are going ham.
Yeah. I mean, we saw FAKER play the Worlds, wasn't quite able to get the win. And Oner here forced to burn the ultimate very early. Means you kind of need to respect that you have to back away from this. But as they try to go forward, they know that there's not a huge amount left. SkewMond able to follow up with Caps as well, on towards FAKER, immediately burst them out. And Peyz kind of doing the right thing, just getting the hell out of dodge there.
Yeah, too right. Dashing away on the Zeri. Oh, here we go. Frozen in time is Labrov, stunned up, and that should be one for the side of T1. A bit of a freebie for them as FAKER grabs that gold. Peyz underneath the tower, and Caps punishes, but also just gives him a chunk of gold.
Yeah, 1 for 1, but the shutdown for Peyz are going to be kind of all right with that. So for T1, not looking too shabby, finding these small little picks in these small windows, but Keria.
Okay, 1v1 with Hansama. I'm not sure this is one that Bard can win, and the cease and desist comes through as well. SkewMond is not letting him get away today. Doran arrives in the mid lane to catch this wave, but no way he can do anything versus Hansama here.
Yeah, just kind of taking the magic out of that journey, SkewMond, as he follows him around. And Hansama, a 6-3 with this 4-0 jungler, now going to have to make magic happen for himself.
X-Tech ultimatum, but Hansama has reinforcements this time. The route onto Doran, the trap will be there to follow it up. Huge damage from Hans as Peyz forced away the equalizer. Quite going to be enough to follow up here. And T1, oh! It's a bit of a doozy.
Not able to get it there for themselves. And G2 continue to get some nice punishing plays as they set up in this mid wave. And shifting pressure towards that top side as well. I think BrokenBlade should get another plate on that top half.
It's so hard to play against the Caitlyn that's this far ahead in the game. Hansama just doing so much damage with those tilt of Peacemakers. Caps trying to get some pressure on the bottom side as well. I mean, that tower is really low at this stage, but realistically, FAKER at level 8 is going to be able to just keep on using that storm, clearing away the waves. SkewMond starting off the dragon.
Yeah, it should be an easy take for G2. You can look at T1 on the minimap, they just want to reset. Understand they are in a bit of a precarious position. And even when you look at FAKER's build, right, going for both of those scaling items, it's going to be a while before this Anivia really comes online. So when you look at G2, they do have this kind of window to play with now of stacking the dragons, nice lead, and looking towards Rift Out in 3 minutes time.
Yeah.
G2 looking good coming into game 3.
Absolutely they are. There is a bit of time pressure on them, because as you say, FAKER's going to be scaling up. They've also got a Zeri that had a bunch of early gold, so already stacking up that crit down in the bottom side. This late game composition for T1 will look really good. It's just a question of, as you say, can they get to the late game?
Yeah, I mean, but it is T1, right? They're
pretty good at getting to the late
multi-world
game.
champions for a reason. And oftentimes it is kind of what we've seen, the small picks that they can find, the windows of opportunity to move people around the map. And right now, they're reading G2's movement well, trying to cover on the bottom side. FAKER still has egg.
Has the passive available, Labrov moving in, FAKER down to 300 as G2 have to back away the wall, not enough as Caps gets that egg, but flashes towards Peyz. Peyz in the middle of all of them, Milio gets into to the Tempered Fate and Labrov over the wall as well. T1 low on HP, Peyz still firing away, walks away with his life, but Hammer takes him out in the end. T1 are going fairly even though. FAKER still alive in this one as SkewMond tries to find more and Oner cuts down another. Double on the Mundo. Oner goes where he pleases. SkewMond gets the shield though, as Oner taken down and G2 regain control.
This was looking like a business meeting T1 were happy to take, but G2 gonna postpone it and get multiple kills off the back of it. That was dicey for so long there.
SkewMond is quietly carrying this game, 6-0-7 on the bye. He's been everywhere he needs to be, just narrowly surviving that fight, but narrowly is enough.
I was fully convinced we were about to have just push playing in the background for a second. But it is Oner getting taken down. And now, again, like, that 3k gold lead is a 4.6k gold lead. Is going to start leading in towards these dragons. But we get to see it here, right? Caps goes incredibly deep here onto FAKER to initially get the play, but we're back to live.
Oh, here we go. Labrov caught out. T1 with a crucial pick, actually. Shock's nearly diving into the action herself. I don't know why I'm referencing that. You guys can't see that, but T1 finding a crucial pick for themselves. And it will slow G2 down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to lead to anything.
No, but I think this is, again, what we're kind of talking about. If you're T1, all you want to do is slow the pace of the game down. Every pick takes that extra little couple of seconds or takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails of G2. And if that is continuous, you get 3, you get 4, okay, now Dragon gets a little bit harder to set up for. Doran gets more time to get some plates on the side lane, or Peyz can start to farm up. And that's realistically all you need to do here is T1, try and hit that late game and see if you can carry.
See if they can make it. The feast strength still not completed in this game just yet, but that tower, so low. It's really difficult for Caps as an Akali against Anivia to finish that off, though. I don't think he's going to be able to push anytime soon. We're much more down to the mid lane, where we've got our 280 carries pushing, but realistically, the support should be there to defend.
I mean, again, Kerry's been doing a decent job here, roaming around and finding those picks. I mean, he's looking for one more.
Keria flies in, Doran having to dash away again as the redemption comes on through, just to top Keria back up. Yeah,
good guy Doran ends up blocking the potential for the Void to get on towards the Bard by using his body, prepping the hook shots, making sure there was no real follow-up there for G2. But Caps does actually get the tower, so there are your feats.
There we go, that's me proven wrong. It's Caps. I suppose you do always have the threat of potentially diving at the end of the day. He's so far ahead in the mid lane, 2,500 gold lead for Caps. 6 stacks on that Medjai's as well, so, or not Medjai's yet. Dark Seal could become a Medjai's though. Keep our eyes on Caps' inventory as this continues. But G2 looking for the Herald here. T1 positioning like they want to fight for this one. Labrov caught by the Tempered Fate. I don't know if there's much follow-up available as SkewMond dives in onto Oner instead. Hammer exhausted though, so the damage isn't there, and SkewMond goes down. In the meantime, a Hextech ultimatum on the backline, and Hammer is taken out as well. T1 finding a couple for themselves. Oner low on HP, but at the end of the day, he's Mundo. Maybe he can get back into the action anyway.
And it's also, oh, hang on.
Hang on, Keria chased down, but does find the stun. BrokenBlade caught by Oner, the healing coming on through, and BrokenBlade gets away with it again. A double kill on the Rumble, and G2 stay ahead.
I was about to say, that actually works out for T1. You get the jungler, you also got Hammer, so, okay, take what you can. But instead, they try to force a little bit more, and it ends up being Oner that falls, and now G2 can actually get back onto the map and look towards that Rift Herald once more.
See if they can grab it for themselves. Let's take another look at quite how that started. He started with a Tempered Fate from T1.
It's Keria that I want you to keep your eyes on, because as this engage comes through, everyone turns onto the Labrov, but Keria flashes in, exhausts Hammer immediately, and prevents him from really doing much in this fight, which means T1 can turn onto SkewMond as things kick off. BrokenBlade does a great job of getting a lot of damage on towards the back line, alongside Caps preventing the rest of T1 from following up. But Oner here, thinking with Peyz and with the help of FAKER, they can actually do some work against BrokenBlade, but BrokenBlade doing a good job of just keeping out of range of FAKER, making sure they can't really get any damage down, and BB's able to turn it around.
I mean, the fact that BrokenBlade finds that kill onto Peyz, probably denying T1 from snowballing anything from that fight there, and it is G2 still with the lead, 4,500 T1 doing a really good job of splitting G2 up in that previous fight, but ultimately, they're still down in gold, they're still down in power on the map right now. It's going to be down to plays like that for T1 to get back into
Also,
this.
I think T1 just wants to fight constantly. You're not willing to let anything go this game as Oner steps forward.
Area alongside him here. CC removal, not there as LeBlanc trying to get some damage down. Handsama could be caught here as Doran comes in on the backside, but he's just not got the help. Peyz forced away by Caps, and that's a perfect execution and a half! Caps taking 2 out like it's nothing.
The perfect execution into taking the magical journey for another kill to send himself back to the smoke. That was incredible from Caps. G2 looking clean coming into this 20-minute mark.
Double the kills of T1 right now. We're only 18 minutes in, and there is an absurd number of kills on the board. Herald taken, as BB's pushing up in that top side. He'll go for a reset. Handsama gonna have the reinforcements of the Herald in the mid lane, and that is all 3 tier 1s taken for G2.
They're gonna take a celebrity drive away as again, for G2, this is insane. You just picked up so much gold. You already have 2 items completed. The potential for a Chemtech Soul in 3.5 minutes. They are looking primed and ready to take down the world champions. Caps.
Caps trying to chase down Keria, but there's Handsama finding the follow-up. Caitlyn playing as a long-range assassin at this point.
I mean, even lets Caps get out with the second half of the R2, so again, G2 finding picks, playing with confidence, and T1 struggling to find much at all, to be honest.
Again, T1, they've got that scaling on their side, but we're a long way away from that really coming into play. With 3 dragons for G2 that Herald already used. FAKER, he's out of mana on the bottom side, but Oner's here to help him out in the meantime. And all in the mid lane, Peyz gonna be caught up, gonna be stunned up, and gonna be taken down as Handsama basically 1v1's Doran. FAKER has found a kill on Caps in the meantime.
Yeah, Caps got a little stuck there, was just kind of ice wall and then ran out of anything on his W left. There's a Mundo in the bush, but still G2 finding picks onto Peyz. 5 and 8 now. Definitely a welcome from G2 for Peyz. As Adakan going to be started.
At the end of the day, even with Caps down, still a man advantage for G2. They start this Adakan. Oner moving in. The equalizer actually used just a chunk FAKER out on arrival. Get a bit of damage on Oner. It's enough. And G2 grab Adakan for themselves.
We've successfully not thrown at Adakan. Great things are happening here.
They said it couldn't be done.
As again, like, you're going to reset here. Look at the items on Handsama. Very close towards his 3rd item. Caps is in a fantastic... Actually, just finishes the rapid fire cannon there. G2 playing well, but yeah, this is unfortunate for Caps. Don't forget, like, he just used his ultimate in the fight beforehand. Now wants to see if he can try and get onto FAKER because he has no mana. Was not expecting Oner to show up whatsoever. And Oner more than happy to flash over the wall to help secure the kill.
I think thinking Oner was on the top side for the skirmish that was going on simultaneously. FAKER had no mana, so if Oner doesn't show up, Caps is in a great spot there. Alas, Oner did show up. Yeah. So Caps,
his white knight in a white suit, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah.
His purple knight?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
So Caps losing some stacks on the Darksteel, but still on 5, so not doing too shabby for himself there. Has a Shadow Flame as well, so feeling pretty strong. And showing it off in the top side as Doran in a 1v1 Hextech ultimatum. Caps down to half as well, and not a 1v1 for long. BrokenBlade shows his face and Doran gets out of dodge.
G2 though, happy to punish and continue to keep up this pressure. T1, you can see what their attempts are. It's just sit somewhere, fish for picks and look for the TP in behind G2 here.
Keria hunting for a stun, flashes, but doesn't find Handsama, and Handsama flashing away from the tempered fate and gets it on the fadeaway. Now the all-in from G2, SkewMond in the middle of everyone. Equalizer finishing the job onto Peyz, and BrokenBlade diving onto FAKER. That egg ain't gonna save you now. The SkewMond looks for more onto Doran. It's going to be an absolute wipe for G2.
Which is better, to be a world champion or in the aftermath be an unofficial world champion? That's what G2 are fighting for here, and they're making sure T1 know as they are now moving towards those space turrets.
Those are the important questions that we are answering today in Munich. G2 and T1 are 1-1 over the last 2 Red Bull League zones. And it's G2's opportunity to take the lead in that matchup. Towers galore across the map here for G2. They have every advantage they could possibly want. To be honest, for now, T1 in a great spot to make something ridiculous happen. The stakes are unbelievably low here today. Now you just get to make a montage.
I was going to say, that is an incredibly positive way to take the player behind. You know, they are just setting themselves up for what could potentially be the greatest success of their career.
Exactly.
But I mean, I like the idea for T1, right? Look at the pace. But Sama just styles on Keria, making sure he gets away from everything. And then SkewMond with the flash forward, sets up for the follow-up. BrokenBlade flashing on the Faker here when Peyz is dealt with. G2, solid target selection, great mechanical plays, and now control with that Chemtech soul.
I mean, it's the fact that G2, nobody's even below half health at the end of that fight. That's how far ahead in the game they are currently. It's becoming more and more difficult for T1 to contest any of these objectives. Now, Soul in the pocket of G2 as well, and Baron spawning in just over a minute's time. Dagda, I feel like G2 might just have this one in their hands. But as we said before, an opportunity for T1 to give this one over to the montage makers on YouTube, to give them a real treat that we can, you know, I don't know, put some dubstep behind. I don't know what it is doing these days.
What are the Call of Duty guys doing over there now? Yeah. But I mean,
the animals are leaving.
I feel like from T1's perspective, surely you have enough montage moments though, right? Like surely, at this stage.
Surely. Yeah, there was a tournament recently,
us,
I think, that had a couple of those. Yeah, I don't think they're that worried about it. They're probably still working on it. There's that much content to work through from Worlds. The crowd here absolutely loving every single moment of this game. We've got chance all day long. It's 48 kills at 24 minutes. We're still at double. We're still at 2 kills per minute.
Yeah. Not a bad way to bring T1 to the main stage. As now Keria with the ghosts, fishing for BrokenBlade.
Tempered Fate, gonna keep him in place. Faker gonna look for the stun off the back of it. Not much damage coming through, to be honest. BrokenBlade, pretty tanky, and Keria is one shot. What was that from BB? And now Peyz rooted on up. Cap's gonna try and find his way in, put the wall, denies his entry. Peyz gets over the wall, and Caps can't really follow it up. Perfect execution to try and get over there. Labrov trying to 1v1 Faker. Faker TP's on out, can't quite get the CC down. Faker now able to look towards Hansama, but no! Denied by the brush. In comes Peyz, but taken out by Caps in the end.
His last breath is to take down Hansama, but he will still fall at the end of it. Our Baron now in the sights of G2. This may just give them what they need to close out this game.
They've got to be careful, those oven mitts are dangerous. But I think G2 have got this one in the back. Nice little present for them before Christmas. A game as confident as this against our back-to-back world champion.
Yeah, let it be known in the best of 3 and Red Bull League of its own. G2 potentially. No, Keria, don't do it. Okay, he's gonna. Look, he had this mind. It could have happened, but again, like T1, these are the kind of picks they need to work for to see if they can try and get back into the game. But BrokenBlade, there is a significant amount of damage that he can put back out as Keria ends up finding out. And G2 collapsing towards the top side. Feel comfortable to take the fight. Caps looks for Peyz, but dashes over the wall. And Faker doesn't quite get interrupted with the TP. Labrov trying to see if he can get that W off, but it's not going to be enough.
Fair effort. Doesn't quite get it in the end. I think people often forget quite how much of Rumble's damage is in his passive. The speed at which he 100-0 Keria there is absolutely absurd. Peyz a fair effort at the end to try and take down a couple more. Gets Hansama, but that's all he's going to get. Pressure faces the T1 players here.
Yeah, KT didn't even do that, you know?
True. What you got to do him like that, Dagda? Oner caught out in the jungle. Equalizer coming out. Equalizer feels a little overkill, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that guy was dead.
Yeah, I don't think Oner was having the best of times. And he's still a ways away from getting to that level 16 as Doran tries to see if he can find Caps. But G2, with this Red Bull Baron power play, going to start pushing in through this top side. And already that mid lane turret's gone. You don't really have a huge amount left as Caps, how sneaky can you be?
He's invisible. Can he get away with it? The stun comes on through from Faker. There's a bit of damage to follow it up. A couple of dashes from Caps, and he gets back over the wall. Keria barely surviving himself. The SkewMond is here. Labrov following up with a bit of CC. Keria solo on HP, but Caps can't really get back in the action. BrokenBlade chasing as SkewMond is there to make an egg out of him. Is that a phrase? I think that's a phrase.
There's definitely egg on his face after that one. As the punch through ends up killing Keria on the back line as well. And it's Hansama. Oh my Jesus! Where'd he go?
Hansama's like, forget your fight, guys. He's just ending the game. The trap under the TP, it's just one bangs Doran at land. 45-16. What a game here between G2 and T1. T1 jumping onto the stage and being reminded what Europe can bring to the table.
G2 considering the dive, but they do end the game. They ended the game. G2 taking down T1.
The crowd loving every single